recent years, I've traveled frequently on Polish PKP Intercity trains, which typically include a restaurant, and have enjoyed the fresh, cook-to-order meals that made each trip that much better. Join me as we travel from Berlin Ostbahnhof to Opole in south-central Poland, and once again have a great experience in the Wawel restaurant car. It's the height of summer in 2023, and we're getting ready to continue our adventures in Poland, planning to depart Berlin at 11:03 aboard the Eurocity Wawel, a popular train connecting Germany's capital with southern Poland. Berlin Ostbahnhof has the usual selection of services and food outlets, including Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks coffee. There are staff ticket offices and also this German Railways information booth. As the name suggests, Ostbahnhof is the station in the east of the city where all east-west long-distance services make their last or first stop in the German capital. From what I remember, this station was one of the first to be rebuilt in Berlin following reunification of East and West Germany. Since our train was delayed, we had plenty of time to observe some trains coming and going, including the ICE1 like this one. It is the original series of Intercity Express trains with a distinctive dining car featuring a domed roof. This remains my favorite ICE train, and I hope to ride it many more times in the future. Here's an ODEG regional express train, most likely bound for Frankfurt on the Oder. ODEG stands for Ostdeutsche Eisenbahn, the East German Railway. We'll see plenty of these trains on our way to Frankfurt. As we waited for the departure time, our train was progressively delayed, and interestingly, more and more people appeared on the platform. As I found out later, our train was delayed providing a connection for passengers traveling in the direction of Warsaw on a subsequent Eurocity service that was cancelled. Finally, we saw two short formations of the ICE4 running coupled together. I reviewed this underwhelming train in a separate video.
Via by about 50 minutes due to delayed preparation of the train.
And here we are. A PKP Intercity Taurus locomotive is in charge of our train today and pulls in about an hour late. Once the train stops, we make our way to the last car to join the mob of people trying to board. We didn't need to worry about getting seats as we had reservations that I made months in advance. Considering that a lot of passengers from the cancelled Eurocity to Warsaw were on our train, it's no wonder all seats were taken. But surprisingly, it got even more crowded in Wrocław, with passengers standing in the aisle, in first class. Our seats were occupied, but we promptly asked the interlopers to move on. We finally got going, left Berlin and settled in for the 4-hour-plus trip to Opole. This is an older but still fairly modern PKP Intercity first-class car built by HCP Cegielski in Poznań in 2003. Let's look at the seat. We were seated in a bay of 4 arranged around a table. The accommodation is comfortable and it's a good space for a long trip. Let's take a closer look at the seat and its immediate environment.
Smallest Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all passengers on board.
Salesman type person.
Yeah.
The classic train setup with the locomotive at the business end and passenger cars behind affords the entertaining view to the rear. Here's the Berlin to Frankfurt Oder mainline as we make our way towards the Polish border. Okay, let's pop into the restroom. Everything was functioning correctly and was clean, as you'd expect at the start of a long journey. After less than an hour from Berlin Ostbahnhof, we arrived at Frankfurt Oder. This used to be a very busy station with many border formalities taking place on the trains traveling between Germany and Poland in the pre-Schengen days. Nowadays, it's just another stop on the way. After departing the passenger station, we passed through a small freight yard. Somewhere here, the overhead power supply changes between the German 15 kilovolt 50 Hz AC supply and the Polish 3000 volt DC supply. Traveling between the two countries used to require a mandatory locomotive change. Today, that's a long gone memory, as the proliferation of multi-system electric locos makes this transition a breeze. Crossing above us is the Nadodrzanka, translated to near the Oder River, the Polish easternmost north-south mainline connecting Szczecin with the south of Poland. Our train will be joining this line in Szczecin, which is the first stop on the Polish network, about a 15-minute trip from the border. The afternoon is moving on and it's time to visit the excellent Wars restaurant car. VARS is a separate entity within the structures of the Polish railway organizations, responsible for operating the numerous PKP restaurant cars, all sleeping cars, and the few remaining couchette cars still running in Polish trains.
In Japan?
Yeah. It's closer to Grand for 2 weeks.
As we arrive in Zielona Góra, our meal is getting ready. The menu selections are pretty extensive and most, if not all, dishes are prepared on board. The food is great, reasonably priced, and a visit to one of these rolling restaurants is a mandatory part of the journey for me. On this occasion, we treated ourselves to main courses, microbrewery beers, desserts, and coffees. Everything was delicious and hit the spot perfectly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
The next station after Zielona Góra is Głogów. Okay, now let's take a walk through the rest of the train. Not far past Głogów, we leave the main line and enter the recently rebuilt line to Lubin and then to Legnica. There were no passenger services here for many years, but the line reopened at the end of 2019. Now, Lubin, a city of 71,000, has many regional services as well as upwards of a dozen long-distance trains, including our international service from Berlin. We arrived in Wrocław, the largest city in southwest Poland at 670,000 inhabitants, where another mob of passengers was waiting. Despite the crowds and delay, our trip on Eurocity Wawel from Berlin to Opole was a very pleasant experience, no doubt accentuated by the fabulous Fars restaurant and meal. How much did we pay for this trip? I booked the reservations well in advance and our seats were about €50 per person in first class. As we watch the Eurocity Wawel continue on its journey, I'll leave you with a brief visit to Opole, a very nice city of 130,000 inhabitants. It is the capital of Opole Voivodeship and is one of the oldest cities in Poland, dating back to the 1100s. Enjoy! Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.